You've brought shame on your people, you mumbling devil. Good Lord, you fight like a woman.
Repeat after me. I'm dead.
Nobody's gonna miss you, you mutant.
TF2 Hunt. Try your luck on jackpot. Or join coin flips with the lowest commissions. Get a chance of winning free money daily by participating in our giveaways. TF2Hunt.com.
Pyros, repeat after me. I'm dead. Hit the bricks, pal. You're done. I am about to catch a real beat. Aw, crap. Oh, hey! I'm too handsome to die, right?
When you try to think of a Team Fortress 2 class that you really hate, the Pyro is highly likely to be on your list. And from my experience talking and interacting with a large portion of every community, I've learned that so many people believe that instead of finishing the Pyro off of the class that otherwise might accidentally, and that whoever dares to play Pyro is probably
I cannot tell you how many
I've
times
seen people just hate on me solely because I am a Pyro main. And I don't think that
Pyro! Fuck you!
With all the constant praise I give Pyro, you'd think they'd be #1. But no, Pyro is last because fuck Pyro. They're probably the most annoying class to fight against, next to Medic and probably Scout. There's nothing more infuriating and shameful than dying to a Pyro. I don't know what it is or why, but if I figure it out, you'll be the first to know. Hey, wait, hold on now, hold on. That video is at least, this old at this point, and people can change. Let's just get this out of here. There we go, that's much better. I'm no stranger to taking potshots at Pyro both in and out of the game. But that just means I wasn't mature enough to understand what it meant to play the class. Yes, Pyro can be broken, unfun to fight, and sometimes I just don't like him. Sometimes he's just not fair at all, but at the same time, there's so much more than that, you know? I have over 100 hours on Pyro, and if you didn't know what you were talking about, you'd probably say that it was all wasted time. But if I can share some behind-the-scenes info and be perfectly honest with you, Pyro, it's my pocket, it's my go-to whenever I don't feel like playing Engineer or Soldier. I have more fun with him than I do with Scout, because more than half the time, I just can't get into the right kind of mindset required to be efficient as Scout. But with Pyro, I can relax and take my time. It's really quite fun to play as Flog Pyro on defense, because you can just shred the competition and everyone gets really angry with you. Of course, it's not very fun at all when you're on the receiving end of that, especially when they have a pocket medic shoved up their ass. But the thing about Pyro is, he's really freaking simple for anyone to pick up and play. I'd argue he's even easier than someone like Soldier or Heavy. Pyro is complex in other ways, though. They might be difficult to describe, but I'll do my best anyway. Let me put this in a language you can understand. If you get killed by a WM1 Pyro, you're an idiot! You are bad at the game. You need to get better. Really can't sugarcoat it more than that. You really are stupid if you get killed by an enemy player who does nothing but walk towards you. You stupid idiot! You dumbass! What are you, a 20-hour? Get out of here! Leave me alone! Now, if they were flaming you while also shooting you with a flare gun or peppering you with bullets from a shotgun, or even if they were doing like some crazy X-Factor shit where they launch you into the air with air blast, pepper you with the reserve shooter, and then when you come down, your ragdoll just kind of crashes because you died, then I can understand your complaints. You got outskilled because the opposing player utilized different strategies that you weren't expecting. But if this is why you're crying wolf, you aren't a good player and you need to accept that. People who say something like this would get killed in the exact same way by any other class, and they would just take that L and move on. But there's something about being killed by Pyros that triggers something in their brains to go on a hateful rampage. It's like this. Imagine if you're a new player and you get killed by a Pyro. What's going to be their thought process? Is it going to be, oh hey, that guy just killed me. I should probably try a little harder next time. Or is it going to be, what? I got killed by the class that everyone tells me is cheap and overpowered. That kill didn't count because they didn't deserve it. I don't need to improve my style over someone that puts no effort in their kills anyway. It's like the old headshot versus body shot argument. A kill is a kill, no matter where that bullet landed. And just like with Pyro, a kill is a kill. Whether they got you by walking forward and keeping their crosshair on you, or by using some ninja shit that you weren't expecting. You lost, they won. Simple as. Going back to my top 9 classes video, I had this to say. Though every time I play as the Freak, I always feel like my fire should be doing more damage. Of course, it's the polar opposite when I'm actually fighting, but we don't like to talk about that. Yeah, embarrassing, I know. But what I said rings true. I said what I said because I did not respect what goes into playing Pyro. If I fuck up and they get the upper hand, then I need to get better. Pyro isn't just WM1ing, and that myth that's been talked about for 15 goddamn years needs to go away. Pyro takes skill, and has one of the highest skill ceilings in the game, right up there with soldiers and demos. The amount of effort it takes to hit those sick air shots, direct hit rockets, and clean and satisfying pipes is the exact same amount of effort that goes into flare kills, point blank reflex, and oomph with the flog. If you let that flog Pyro get his free crits, then it's your fault. It's rewarding him for playing well, and as a result, he gets to punish his enemies. It might feel like bullshit when you fire at a Pyro and they instantly reflect it, killing you embarrassingly in the process. But let's think of it from their perspective. You fired at them in a predictable pattern. They know that firing rockets is what you want to do, and they know that you're going to fire at their feet to try to launch them into the air and airshot them. They're going to take advantage of all the other soldiers they fought in their entire career and use that knowledge against you. While it's easy to utterly destroy a fresh installed Pyro who barely knows how to do anything other than walk forward and hold their flamethrower out, throw some respect at the Pyros who make you so angry that you try to defame the entire class, and rethink how you play the game. Hey, watch this shit!
Hey brother, what's up? We out here. Engineer. Who's spy?
Wasn't that fucking awesome? You wanna know how I did that? Well, once I lit the scout on fire, 1,000 programs went off in my head in seconds all at once. I knew that they didn't have a medic, and if they did, he wouldn't bother healing the scout. I knew he'd try to go back to the resupply locker and spawn, and I knew he'd try to go through the side door since he was closer. I could recognize him since he was on fire and easy to spot, and I calculated the trajectory of the shot and hit him as he was running away, thus securing the kill and rewarding all of my split-second decision-making. When I explain that to you, it sounds kind of complex, but it all took place in a matter of seconds. It's basic muscle memory, and something that anyone can do if they try hard enough. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm just some kind of flare master who hits all my shots with crackerjack aim, because actually I kinda suck at aiming and I tend to beef real easy shots. But with a little bit of common sense, I got that kill, and in my humble opinion, it was well earned. You ever notice how nobody ever complains when a Pyro lands a normal flare shot? Nobody used the detonator, so you won't hear anything from them. But the second someone gets hit with a scorch shot, you just get bombarded like, oh god, here it comes! At its core, the scorch shot is used to counter snipers. In case you didn't know, the flare that comes out of this gun hits their target, then bounces back on the floor, and can potentially hit another group of players, or that same player if they didn't move out of the way, before the flare fizzles out. It also bounces the first player it hits in the air, which snipers do not like because it tends to reset their aim. Is it fun to fight against or fair? Well, depending on who you ask, no, it isn't. Some people might complain that it even stun-locks the player somehow. Is that fun? Sometimes no. But neither is Sniper, and he's still in the game! Pyro doesn't get a natural counter to Sniper. If you're good with the flare gun, you can just use that, sure. But the scorch shot is what actually counts here. Is it fair that if a sniper equips the danger shield, you just can't damage him as Pyro? Is it fair that Sniper can just kill Pyro from anywhere he wants? Pyro has no way of closing that gap without it? Is that fun to fight against? No, it isn't. So Pyro juggling snipers with the Scorch Shot is justified and earned when you land those shots. It's a deterrent to snipers. It doesn't need a nerf because it does what it was made for. Is it always fair? You might not think so if you have some kind of sick Pyro hate boner and only play Sniper, but it's balanced. So yeah, Pyro can hurt you from far away and especially close up. Considering that fire damage is increased the closer your enemies are to the business end of the flamethrower, it's almost as if Pyro is dependent on taking advantage of his enemy's stupidity and baiting them into getting closer for maximum damage. Okay, here's the part I know you were all really waiting for. The part where I bitch and moan and talk about how Pyro is actually a shit class and how I'm just a fraud for making this video. Here's the thing. Sometimes, I really fucking hate playing Pyro. Like, it makes me so unironically angry playing this mute motherfucker, especially when I have to get footage. It's like the second I hit the record button, some unseeable, unknowable force cackles to themselves and thinks,
Well, it seems that Waylon TF2 is attempting to gather footage for his video. Why not stack the odds against him?
and then I have the worst, most frustrating game of my entire life. You just get beaten down time and time again. You die a lot. That's not fun at all. Have you ever had a rough day and you tried to calm down by playing video games, but then it just makes you even angrier? That's how it feels to play Pyro sometimes. This video is mostly positive because I'm trying to convince you that Pyro takes skill, but god damn, I have a lot of shit to say about Pyro. I can't stress enough how frustrating it is to lose while playing Pyro. It's bad enough that I'm already losing, but because I'm playing as Pyro, everyone in the server already hates me and is mocking me for losing, and it's like it's the turd on the shit sundae. I love when I attempt to have fun, and then Big Brother Valve barges into my room and tells me I can't win a Pyro because of the... When you missed air blasts? Infuriating. When you fail to protect your team from obvious stickies? Infuriating. When you miss point blank with your shotgun and are instantly punished for it? Infuriating. Right here in this clip, I actually complain about that same thing. I didn't have my mic on at the time, but the exact thought in my head was, oh, I switched to actually depending on my real aiming and I failed and was killed. I'll be the first to admit that yes, not actually having to aim with the flamethrower is kind of a gift. I like being able to do damage and not having to be perfect with my aiming, alright? I'll admit it! I'm a baby that plays Huntress in Risk of Rain 2 because I fucking love not having to aim! I want to be able to kill my opponents and be slightly less skilled than they are! Okay, most of this is me just bitching about how angry playing Pyro makes me, but that boils down to, ooh-wee, I sure hate losing. But that's because I feel like this game punishes you almost as hard as it punishes Spy for messing up. If you want to excel at this class, you have to put in the effort and commit to sharpening your skills. Actually, Pyros don't need to aim is an exaggeration. Yes, I literally just said the opposite, but you really have to learn how to aim because it's just as important as it is for other classes. You have to aim to hit flare shots. You have to aim to hit those sick as fuck reflex. And you have to be able to maximize your flamethrower damage. If you want to do the most damage, you have to aim your flamethrower directly onto your opponent and not just waggle around. I've learned that now. You gotta get right in the face of that enemy gamer. Kind of like another class. Pyro is a lot like Scout. They both excel at getting in close to their enemies and doing massive amounts of burst damage. Stock Pyro does have a shotgun for a reason. Whereas Scout can use his speed to get away, a good Pyro doesn't have to worry about escaping his enemies because a good player will always get that kill. If not, you can always just air blast people away that you can't handle. But Pyro wants to get up close and personal. If he sees you across the map, all he's thinking about is how great it would be for the two of you to get to know each other a little better, then introduce you to his hot-headed friend. When you see a Pyro on the battlefield, don't get in their face, that's what they want! don't give them what they want. Shoot them from a distance. Deny them the simple pleasure of roasting you alive. I know how it is. I know what you want to do. You see a Pyro, and you don't see a potentially dangerous enemy. You just see a meat shield begging to be filled with lead and rockets. But no! You're not a baby playing with the bleach under the sink. You're not a fly approaching some delicious-looking sticky paper. You're not a love-struck idiot that's about to donate his month's wages to a streamer that won't even say his name. Don't fall for it. Pyro players know that you're going to, though. If you see a Pyro running around the field who's alive for more than 15 seconds, you run away. Fear an old player where others die young. Pyros are always running like 13 different calculations and scenarios in their heads. They know they don't get respect, so they have to try extra hard to earn those kills. Instead, all they get is prejudice and hate. For years, I struggled with myself internally, and I didn't know why. I didn't know why I hated Pyro, but I found him so fun to play. I would catch myself playing Pyro, then want to stop, but I didn't, because I was having fun. Pyro is fun to play, and even more fun to master. I didn't want to get caught in the stereotype of a Pyro player that nobody respects. I was afraid of what other people would say. I was afraid of people who got their opinions from YouTubers. I figured that people are inconsistent and they don't know what they want, and often flip-flop their opinions depending on who's talking in their ear. So if I wanted to get answers on the TF2 community and what they really thought about Pyro, I decided to ask the most volatile, inconsistent group of people, the actual TF2 community. I went around on a few servers and openly asked everyone if they thought that Pyro took skill, and these are the results.
Yes.
Depends.
Every class takes at least a little bit of skill.
Takes skill depending on what his primary is and secondary. Like if it's Dragon's Fury, yeah, he absolutely takes a lot of skill to get those chain fireballs.
The problem with it is just like the easiest like play class. So a lot of like free to play is WM1, thus giving bad rep, but I have seen some really skillful Pyros that are just like kicking my ass.
As you can see, nobody I once asked outright said Pyro was bad and didn't take skill. This is a stereotype perpetuated by a vocal minority and people who have too many social media followers. The general consensus by the actual TF2 community and real players is that yes, Pyro does take skill, but it depends on how he's played. WM1 is not peak Pyro, and it never will be. If you give Pyro the respect they deserve, you might be surprised that they're more than ready for a good challenge. Some of the nicest people I've met in-game, funnily enough, were Pyro players. I could suffer the most embarrassing, tragic death that would end up on a 10,000 viewed TF2 Funny Moments compilation video, and they'd stop and explain to me how I messed up. If I could rank the kindness of TF2 players and the class they play, I'd say that Pyro, Demo, and Engineer players are particularly respectful and kind since they have to deal with all kinds of bullshit daily. That's kind of fitting, especially since those three really bounce off of one another. So next time you get a kill and you hear someone bark at you that Pyro is bad, just try and ask them if they can do better. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching this video and for making it all the way here to the end. I know that at this point in YouTube it's pretty obvious, but if you like this video, then be sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you really enjoyed it. Big thanks to Sin for letting me showcase this video here on his channel. My name is Waylon, but you should know that already. Head on over to my channel if you really love this video and you want to show your support. Likes and comments are always very much appreciated. Here's some fan art from my own Discord server that I really appreciate, and I will see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching.